me see it. Is that a kill key? Or you use the kill key?
That's aux button.
What is it?
Aux button.
Yeah,
green
what'd you
one?
use on top of it?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the button made out of? What's the...
I bought like 50 of them on eBay.
50 of these?
Yeah, like different styles. Like some are oval, some are red, blue.
Really?
I can give you a couple if you want to try them out.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, because like they just all light up, and you know the cool thing is they hook up to the 3.3, and you don't need a resistor. Because I've been using it in this one. See, oops.
Yeah, you need a resistor for the standard.
Weapons of the Jedi Knight.
This and at least the green. I don't know about the red, but this has been running for like 4 years in this.
And never had a problem?
Yeah. So I hooked.
Oh, that's one of these.
Yeah, this
wow.
is just blue. That's green.
How big's the button on
And
the
like
inside?
I have different, like that one I think is a taller one, but then there's shorter ones. There's oval.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some cool because my friend turned me on to like how to look for them on eBay, and they sell you like sets. Like I got these
That's a
really
nice
cool
button.
buttons that were like metal capped, and they had different like some of them were kind of unusable for Star Wars stuff because they said like OK on it, or they had like a power symbol,
Yeah.
but other ones had cool symbols or whatever. So.
Okay. That's pretty neat.
So here's the new website for Custom Saber Shop.
It's not much different.
It's just when you click on
Yeah, I haven't
like,
actually looked at it on a regular computer yet either.
like when I click on switches, like you don't see anything anymore. You just see like categories now. So that's just the one like little thing that I didn't like. I was like just seeing like all the
Yeah,
shit.
'cause it's
Just
like
like
more
showing me
work.
all this shit because like I'm
So
in a
how do
hurry.
you choose? You gotta go through.
And like you just have to know what you want momentary. See, like sometimes, and then like even once you click on momentary, then you have more choices.
Oh,
But like sometimes I want to see what's out. Like even I'm not looking for 16mm. I just want to see.
This is the kill key for this one?
no, this-
This one. Now, what's that doing?
That's like the menu sound. So it's like the Qui-Gon funeral.
Really? I
Menu
never heard that
sound.
before.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
What font was that? One of the Qui-Gon fonts?
If I know what number it is on. That was number 6. I think that's like Jaina or Rogue or Flourish. It's one of those 3.
Oh, so just,
No, it's not Jaina because of the Force thing that he showed. It's either Rogue or Flourish.
This is your last chance. Free up
or die.
So each sound is a different font.
That's
Yeah.
badass.
Now you will experience the full power.
I love playing with just the menu sounds, man.
Yeah.
You know, I could sit all night like on a Crystal Focus and just
Yeah, no, I can
play with the
spend
freaking menu sounds all night long on them, you know?
just like hours and hours and
Oh,
hours and hours.
absolutely.
And that's like it's kind of a problem sometimes because when I think I'm gonna set up this SD card tonight, I'm gonna be done by 6:30, you know, and then it's 11 o'clock. I'm like, I still have more work to do on
Yeah.
this SD card.
Still playing with it.
Do you have force effect on this? No, right?
You have what?
Force effect.
On this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you activate it? I just want to see what the force thing is on that. I'll tell you.
This is Rogue, but it's...
Okay, so
there were a few on there. I think I picked just this one. Because on the Petit Crouton, you can't...
like not force 1 and 2. Or
Yeah,
whatever?
no, it's just one force. So I just listened to them and I just made that the one.
But even when it is force 1 and 2, when you have that option, force 1 is a push and a button press,
Right.
and force 2 is
It's a stab.
is a smack, like a clash and the button press at the same time. So actually, like, I mean, I don't know if maybe the Crystal Focus 7 does have multiple, like, push sounds.
I think it does.
But up to what I'm used to, like 6.5.
I thought it was just random. I thought it was like a random thing. It's just like each time you did the force push, it would just fluctuate to a different...
Yeah, like from the ones I'm used to, like, you know, like Crystal Focus 5, let's say you have like Hero, and every time you do like the force push and button, you'll get that like Luke song.
Yeah.
You know.
Hi. Yes, you are my buddy. I love you.
Shut
Yes,
up,
I have
treats.
treats for you. I had treats. I had something.
He said,
more
shut up, treats now.
But you gotta wait a little bit. Because if I give them all to you now, then you're gonna be like annoyed all night long. And don't play dumb. I know you're listening to me. I know you understand everything I say. I know. I know. That's why you're backing up right now. I know. I know. I understand. It's all good. Because we're friends. Sit.
Buddy.
Sit.
Oh.
See? Good boy. Give me the ball. Good boy. Good boy.
He's like, no,
Good boy. You're my friend. You understand. We understand each other.
There is a great
Yes, we do.
disturbance in the force.
Yes,
It's
we
not
do.
like about Crystal Focus, man. You could do all this.
I have something here for you. Now, you wait. Cannon's dark side of you.
Yeah, you'll be getting your Jade Fire, and you'll be like, "Where's all the different sound fonts?" A month, you'll be like, "All right, let's put a
What's
Crystal
what's a
Focus."
Jade Fire? Saber
He ordered a Saber Forge
The
Jade
Crystal
Fire.
Jade from
Crystal Jade.
So what's that? A hazard crystal, or that's just that's?
Yeah,
It has like an opening for the
Okay.
crystal.
I got it weathered black like this, 12 watt plus blue.
Oh, sweet. I heard the blue is super bright for that.
Do or do not.
Look.
There is no try.
Master Windu, you have fought gallantly,
I have something here for you.
worthy of recognition in the archives of the Jedi Order.
It's the new Star Wars lightsaber from Kenner. Inflation required, batteries not included. You can pretend you have powers when you switch on Kenner's Star Wars lightsaber.
Ready to feel the force? Switch on your Star Wars lightsabers. Close your eyes and go.
Have you guys been catching up with Rebels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I've been watching like on YouTube or something like that. I pay for it. I think I have to pay because I'm on Disney.
What do you mean you have to pay for it?
Like I no longer have like any TV.
Oh,
So I canceled all the TVs. Like
So
I'm
where you
buying
getting
them
it
from like $1.99 or $2.99. Like I just buying like SD version off like Disney thing. But I don't care. I'm so hungry for the content.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't give a shit. Like I could ask somebody at work for their like Verizon password or something, but I just like just
you don't have Netflix or nothing like that?
it won't show. Like I want to watch
Netflix
it.
doesn't
Like,
have the current
like
stuff.
tonight when it airs, like I can watch it right after that. But you have to pay $2 or something like that. So
It's worth the $2.
I think so because
I like it.
I would buy the DVD anyway. I probably will buy the DVD.
And you're probably getting without commercial too, so which is even better.
Yeah.
I just fast.
That's
I
true.
like taping it and then just fast through the commercial.
Well, yeah. Like I also like pause a lot. Like I'll be like doing something. I'm like working on the computer, and then I'm like, I need to watch 5 minutes of this shit. And then like I like to think about what happened.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Let it marinate.
I gotta pay
Yeah.
attention. I gotta pay attention and sit down and watch it. You guys Walking Dead fans?
No,
No?
probably should be. I hear it's an
Love
awesome
Walking
show.
Dead. Sunday was an awesome episode. One of the main characters.
Mm.
But they say it's not real. They say they're going to bring him back, which I'd like to see how they're going to do it. But when you get eaten by 1,000 zombies, you know. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then Monday night, I watched Supergirl Monday night with my son.
How was that? I didn't get to catch
pretty good.
I wanted to see that.
A little on the corny side.
Yeah.
A little bit. A
It
little
looks
bit.
It looks it. But
Kind
I'm a Superman fan.
of campy. Kind of campy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they pulled it off really cool. I like it. I like the character. I mean, there was only so much you can do with an hour, and they brought her whole thing out, her whole history in the hour.
I'm probably going to get into...
A lot of airtime into her. She was really cool. And then I watched Gotham. Gotham was like...
I love Gotham.
Do you guys watch the Flash one?
Watch the Flash.
Yeah.
Watch
I like
the Flash
that.
last night.
I sped through all those episodes. Like, and then the second season I do the same thing. I'm getting them
You're all
from
caught up
Amazon
on the Flash?
now. Yeah, like I...
Did you watch last night yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
like I buy them on Amazon for like another $2.
Gotham is the shit, though.
Gotham's amazing.
Gotham is amazing.
Did you see Monday night's episode?
Nah, I didn't catch
it.
That was intense.
Are you
I
caught
saw
up?
The trailer, nah.
Oh, man.
Nope,
it's getting good, dude. Getting better than good.
That's the second season.
Second season,
week,
yeah.
But not this one.
Yeah. Did you see the
I'm
Firebug
really
chick?
like the
you saw that one?
TV.
Huh?
With the chick that was starting the fires and stuff? Did you see the end?
Nah.
Oh, you didn't see that.
I didn't
All right,
see
I'm
that
not going to tell you
episode.
anymore.
I saw the week before.
Mm.
That's the last one I saw. I didn't see this past week. I like Gotham.
I love on that the Selena Kyle kid.
Mm-hmm.
The kid playing
Yeah.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of her in the past 2 episodes. It was really cool.
Yeah,
I like her.
All right, so this is Saber Talk. This is Harris and Gabe. I'm SpaceWindu. We're doing another Saber Talk. I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of different things. I figured I would show you something I didn't even show you yet and see what you think.
Cool.
So this is like a couple combination style blades that I made with the string blade. So it's like the first one I'll show you is white with teal alongside of it. So this is obviously going to look good on camera, but I want you guys to tell me like what you think.
You want our opinion up close?
Yeah, because like I already had one friend of mine said like it's like a failure, you know, it doesn't look good. So you guys tell me what you think. Like it mixes weird because it's 2 different colors.
I definitely see the 2 different colors as soon as you fire it up.
So as I turn it, you guys can see.
Yes.
What we're talking about.
It's like a swirl type marble mixture in there.
Yeah.
The white in the
because what I'm trying to do is get like a white core like you see in the movies. You know, it's really hard in person to get that to happen. So
I don't know that I would call it a failure though. I think it's neat. I think it's interesting. You definitely like I've done a few like purple or like a yellow where you're mixing 2 colors, and in the blade, like especially if you're using like a little blade plug like I use on mine, it's pretty cool. But when you use a blade plug, like for the purple, if you look down on the Saber, you can definitely see the red side and the blue side. Where this, because it's a string blade, it's like one whole side is blue and one whole side is like a whiter color. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I bet you like swinging that around and twirling that would look very cool.
Yeah, like when I look at this in a mirror, like in my full length mirror, I'm like, oh, I love this. You know, when I'm looking at it up close, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, if this is like good or whatever. But
yeah, it's almost like a yin and the yang. One side of it is one color, one side of it's the other color. But it's cool. I wouldn't call it a failure. I just say it's something different.
Yeah.
You know, some people might look at that and not be into it, but that's why they make chocolate and vanilla. You know, some people might look at that and go, "Wow, that's different." You know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get people to probably understand. Like that's why I wanted you to, you know, you're explaining it right now, what you're seeing, because like on the video, it's just gonna look like any one of our lightsabers. You know, in person you can see the differences. And like the other weird thing is that there isn't like any room for flash on clash here. So like when I hit the button for the blaster, like it's just like it is blinking out that section, but there's nothing to replace the light. And obviously I could change the settings in
so it's just like
SD
blacks
card.
out.
Yeah, I mean you could change it in SD card so that if you didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But basically you just have like standard, like I'm holding down the clash right now, so you just have like standard effects.
Do you have it muted right now? Is that what you have?
Yeah, just have it on mute so you guys can talk or whatever. But so that's that one, and then there so this is teal 3mm.
I definitely would not say failure. I would definitely say cool, interesting, different vibe. You know.
Cool. Yeah, just like experimenting with these things.
Very cool. I'd put that in your...
But at the same time, that's what makes sabers unique.
Everybody's got their thing,
At the end of the day, you know? I mean, how else are you going to learn if you're not trying it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
And lo and behold, you come up with something completely new, different, that no one's seen before. And that's the whole purpose, man. You know, when a Jedi has his, or a Sith has its saber, it's
no
supposed to
two are
be
alike.
unique to that one, you know,
Yeah.
specific
No two are
character.
alike.
So it's the same thing with this.
Yeah, so like the one I just showed you was like supposed to be like I was telling Harris before we started, was that color is supposed to be like Luke's saber when he turns that on in
From
A New Hope, episode 4.
Four, yes.
Like I feel like that's like I'm trying to mimic that color, you know.
Okay.
So it looks like a weird white and aqua mixture to me. So
What
then
size LEDs are in that blade?
that was a 5mm cool white. So then that's
So both
all-
are 5. In other words,
No,
the
like,
white side is 5 and the blue side is 5 also.
The teal side is 3mm.
Okay,
I don't think I'd be able to fit 2 5s.
wouldn't fit in there.
Like it would look weird because it starts poking through the foam and stuff like that.
Do you think if you did something like that, but used 3 on the blue and 3mm on the white, it would blend? You think it's because the white side is a larger LED that it's overpowering that side of the saber of the blade?
Yeah, like that. I could actually try that. The 3mm white LEDs. I'm trying to think. Like, see what I would rather do. Like maybe what's possible is like white 3mm running up the middle, and since they're 3mm, maybe I could fit 3, right? And put blue, let's say on the outsides. Then do you think there'd be like a blue aura?
I got an idea for
Like
you.
white inside, blue aura?
I'll throw this at you. You ready? Something I bet you've not done yet. Okay? Instead of staggering the 2 strings, okay? Same colors, white and blue. But instead of having one white and one blue, stagger the LEDs. White, blue, white, blue, white, blue.
Could you do that?
But make 2 strings of that. And then, you know, like, think like,
Yeah.
if this is white and this is blue, have the strings staggered like that. So you get the effect of both the white and the blue together.
That'll
That would probably
blend in
give you a more
easy.
solid, even
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
Like actually, I had thought of that originally before I even made these at all. I thought of doing that, but what prevented me from sort of doing that was like I shouldn't because like they have different power like requirements.
Oh,
But what you're saying does make sense considering that I did this. This works. I've been testing this for like 2 weeks. So the way the power is working with it is really the same as what you're saying.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not like regulating the power on both sides. They are connected on both the negative and the positive each
Okay.
time. So what you're
Could
saying
probably
now
work.
makes more sense.
Could
because
probably work.
I think it'll work.
But yeah, you follow them, like stagger them.
Yeah.
You know, stagger the white and blue, but also when they're next to each other. So this way you always have a white and a blue kind of next to each other.
Yeah.
But it'll bring,
like
I
mixing.
think it'll mix
mixing
all the way
up.
up. Yeah. Could be a lot more
It
work
might
because you got to
look-
keep track of
yeah.
each LED.
But it might look more natural going up.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think
when
so
it-
too. That's a
I
really
mean,
good idea.
it's
That's a
all
good
trial and
experiment.
error, you know. That's what
Because
you
I
do
do have
anyway.
the
So
3mm white and blue.
Yeah.
Like 3mm is not available in all the colors. It's only available in like blue, teal, green, red, and white, and yellow. So like 5mm is more wider range, but the combination you're talking about, I could do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that's
something
pretty
to
cool.
try. Let me ask you this: have you? I know you've played with a lot of the master replica string blade types. Have you ever dismantled a SpaceWindu? Like I know the SpaceWindu master replicas one, or the Hasbro, or that was a purple blade. So how did they achieve that purple blade? I have one at home, but I've never taken it.
Yeah, like I had one at one point, and then I gave it to my little cousin. I didn't take it apart.
You never took it apart. Wondering how they did, because that's an LED string blade in there, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. So wondering how they did the mixed color to get it.
Yeah, I can't remember the one I had. Was there ever a paper one, or were they all LED strings?
Don't remember.
think they were-
I know my original one. The first one that I ever owned was the Anakin episode 1. No, episode 2. The Anakin episode 2. And
That's
that was
the
like
first
a
one I
blue,
owned, too,
but
yeah.
that was like an electroluminescent white paper.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And it did go up though, didn't it? Didn't it go up in sections, or did it go
I
instant
don't think.
on?
I think when you turned it on, it just kind of faded on and faded off.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to pull it out and look at it. I have it up on a
Oh, you
shelf.
still have it working.
I still have it. Yeah.
We bashed the hell out
Bashed
of
the
it.
crap out of
it. Those guys
that's
enjoy it.
the good one. That's the first one they made. That's the
Yeah.
one
And it came out right when I was like in college or whatever, so we were just
Still have mine.
yeah.
Still have mine put away. Yeah.
So then I made another combination one. This one is like just like the teal and white where there's 5mm white and 3mm of the colored. This is 5mm white and 3mm blue. For like, I try to mimic like the Kanan Rebels saber, or maybe even like the Clone Wars type saber.
Interesting.
Weird, right?
That kind of comes off purplish to me.
Yeah, I was
almost.
just gonna say it looks kind of.
When you first ignited it, it looks a little purplish.
I think it looks a little purple on the camera too.
But it's like a very light purple. It's not, you know, the heavy.
And this was a 3 and a 5 mix again? 3mm, 5mm.
This time actually made first.
I think that's why. I think maybe the 5mm in the white is overpowering the actual color. So that's why you're getting that.
But then again, you have.
side.
Well, then again, he has one completely white and one completely blue, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's like you're saying it.
Yeah.
When you turn it, you can tell.
Yeah.
But if you try this concept where you're staggering,
Maybe it would
Yeah,
mix
staggered.
right. That's a really
But I
good
do
idea.
like it. It does look awesome. I like it. I think it looks very cool. You know, when dueling or when spinning something like this, you know,
I think it looks cool.
I think it would have just like the blend of the mix would just be really nice on camera and in person. You know?
Yeah. Can you tell it all? Like it's,
Yeah, I mean when you're swinging it, it obviously blends in. You can't even
Everything
tell.
blends in
Yeah.
when you're swinging.
It
Yeah.
blends in, so it looks like a smooth light purpley color, right? But when you stop it, then you can tell it's like a swirl mixture in there.
Yeah.
Love the scrolling effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the whole thing that attracted me to like this type of saber.
Scrolling effect is awesome.
Awesome.
Nice work. Good experiments. I definitely would not call them a failure. I would say definitely a neat trial and something different. You may find that somebody watches the video and sees it and says, you know what, I like that.
Or I mean, or they want to improve on the idea, or like like you said, try the other thing. 'Cause, one other thing I want to try, like now that you say that, because I wanted to try green and white. So maybe I'll try it that way. And I wanted to try purple and white. Wouldn't that be weird? If it was
Do they
like
actually
purple
make a
and
purple LED?
Yeah,
They
like
do.
Yeah, but he's talking about purple and white.
Well, purple.
Together,
I
right?
see. I think
I'll show you my purple.
you would know more than I would because you're a graphic artist. But isn't the purple? Wouldn't that get kind of washed out by the whiter color? It would just be like a lighter purple and come out like a
Almost
pink
pink.
more.
Yeah, I think
Would
it
that overpower it?
I think
I
it
know.
would.
I know it's different with the LEDs.
I've been trying to get to like the way the SpaceWindu looked in the movie. Is that possible? It's like the whole idea. But yeah, I think you're right. It might look.
I don't want to say washed out, but like
It might
almost
look
more like a
pinkish.
pastel color. You know?
Yeah.
Or either way, whatever
This might be
your
purple.
color you're planning on doing, as long as you try it with that staggering concept.
You think that'll be better?
Yeah,
Especially if
probably
it's
mix it a little
too.
better.
You should try it.
Actually, no, I can't do it with the purple, but I can do it with green because to do it the way you're saying, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's got to be like both like 3mm, or you know what I mean. So purple's not only available in 5.
I see.
Purple, I'd have to do like these probably, or
We'll try the
But you
green.
could. I mean, well, yeah, you couldn't mix the two, but you could. Yeah, you're saying you could put them next to each other. You wouldn't be able to stagger the 3 and the 5
Yeah, exactly.
one after another.
here we go.
Yeah, it's like a much deeper purple, but they're 5mm purple in there.
So this one you can see like I fit another string, but it's for the flash.
The string is just for the flash.
So
on
maybe
top.
actually we can get a clue if I hold the flash down, like
Try it.
what that will look like.
Try it.
So now, is that side by side also the
Yeah.
flash?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I kind of.
You can kind of see the deeper purple side. Yeah, there you go. Like that's to
There,
us
yeah.
now, right now. Now turn it back the other way.
Yeah.
And we like we're, from where we're seeing right now, we
Yeah,
see a lot
it's
more white.
Yeah. Definitely. But it, again, this is just straight up purple. With the other ones, you're mixing. So, but I think with the concept of staggering whatever you can fit with the 3s, I think it'll come off nicer.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think as you play with these are your sabers, and you have the ability to sit here and play with them all night long? Do you find that the more that it's lit up, in other words, the more power goes through it, and the longer that it's activated, do you find that the LEDs change color at all? Maybe get dimmer, dimmer, brighter, get a little deeper color?
Not that I've noticed, but apparently LEDs, like, did we talk about this before, that they go down to, over time, they can go down to 70% of what they used to be?
No, I don't think we touched on that
All right,
before,
so
actually. Yeah.
that's just like a LED fact, but that's like over time. It's not like we're going to play with this for a couple nights and that's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
like
each LED is actually different too, but
I
like,
mean,
believe it or not,
yeah.
because the quality control, like there's just something about, like, I guess us being human and passing on our mistakes to like every single thing we make. There is an inconsistency that I've noticed through the LEDs.
Okay.
And some worse than others. So like white LEDs, there's inconsistency in the white, and also the UV LEDs that I worked with a few months ago was, at least to my eye, but I'm not sure I was seeing the entire UV spectrum. Some of them look dimmer than others.
When you say UV, you mean like a black light LED?
Yeah. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, I'm only seeing probably like 3/10 of that light.
Okay.
But some of them look dimmer than others, the same voltage.
Yeah, I was wondering that, because I don't have any string blades at my house. So, like, and I know, like, when I activate a Saber, I'm not sitting on my couch, or I don't have the Saber on for an hour just sitting next to me. Most of the time we play with these things, and I imagine you guys do the same thing. They're on for a few minutes and then they're off, and they're off and on. But I'm wondering now if you let it actually sit, and I know the longer that these LEDs sit, they are on heat sinks, At least mine are. I know mine are into a heat sink. They do get hot, They do get a little warm.
I would say for the LEDs that you guys like, in-hill LEDs, high power, quad thing, or even like the 8 or the 6.
This is a 3 I have in here.
Those aren't gonna burn it. Those are gonna be like pretty much optimal, like at their whole life.
Because I have a Saber at home that I think it's getting. I was playing with it tonight actually before I came here, and to me it looks dimmer. I've had it together about a year and a half.
Combo
it's got a LED engine in it. It's got a red, green, and blue LED engine. And I was just running just the green and just the blue just to play with it, and it doesn't look as bright as me today as when I built it 2 years ago.
And are you using like the same blade? You think you're gonna with the same blade?
Yeah.
Because like I would just say that the high power LEDs, it's sort of like how should I explain it? Like, I'm sure you guys know how I'm gonna. I just have to figure out how to say this. Like, it's like when there's 200 LEDs in here, just like if you had 200 people. Like, you can't count on all 200, but when can you count on one person? And usually you can, so that's sort of like, it's kind of sounds stupid, but that's the same thing. Like, every time I power this on, I am relying on all those like 500 solder connections to always be working.
Which is a credit to you, by the way, of your
well, I haven't
quality control,
so I don't know. But like, also, I also, I try to separate out if I see anything. But normally, I've only seen things in like white, in the white spectrums. Usually they're very even from the place I get from. A lot of times the LEDs are like $1 each, so you hope that you're not throwing any away.
They're pretty consistent.
Yeah, but the LEDs for the standard Saber, like, although, LEDs over time are going to go down at 70%, usually no less than 70%, but it's like they have a long hundreds of hours usually. And that's the coolest part about LEDs.
I hope I'm not giving away, as people have said to me, any of your secrets right now, but just when people see this stuff and they want to know what it costs or how much it costs, you're talking an LED blade, and that's not even for the hilt. That's just the blade itself that has 200 LEDs in it of one color, maybe another 200 LEDs of another color. And you're talking
usually, yeah, okay. There would be like 100 of one and 100.
Okay, so we're talking 200 single LEDs that cost $1 a piece.
Sometimes, yeah.
So yeah, depending upon what it is, like the size, the color.
A lot of money for some reason,
so just to make mention, folks, when Anthony says to you, my blade costs, what do you usually sell a string blade for?
A purple one could be like 500.
$500. You know what I mean? That's just for,
But you
he's
could
got
build-
invested $200 just in all these little tiny LED light bulbs
Yeah.
to build this string.
And,
you know?
and I mean, you could go for probably like 250, 260, like, when you
Per
start,
LED, you're saying?
like, no, I mean for an entire blade
to
that
put the LEDs on,
that
okay.
someone builds themselves. It's just weird when you start factoring in like shipping all this crap to you that you need to
Shipping is a
assemble.
fortune.
So like if you order, you're going to order it from the Custom Saber shop, to get this tube sent to you, it's depending on where you live, it's going to be $20. So the tube's going to be $10, and the shipping's going to be $17, something
Sure.
like that.
Before you know it, you got $30 invested
so
just
you
to
better
get it to your house.
Exactly. So you better
Sure.
pack on some other stuff. Order a charger. Order some other
Sure.
stuff. You don't want all these shipments coming to your house because it's going to cost this big long box.
One of the reasons I brought this fact up is I didn't say anything to you guys. I just figured I'd bring it up here on camera. And tonight's kind of like open forum. There's not one main topic tonight, right?
Yeah.
So I figured I'd throw this out. I actually was thinking about selling or trading one of my sabers that I have at home. And I posted it up. And I originally had it up for sale for $1,400. I will tell
on eBay
you
or
guys.
on the forum?
No, I put it up on. I didn't do it on eBay. I put it up on one of the Saber pages on Facebook. Okay, and I didn't really get any bites on it, so I thought, okay, that was like a year ago. I thought, all right, it's a little expensive. Not your average Joe is going to want to spend $1,400 for a custom, one-of-a-kind LED saber, custom powder coating, all custom features to it, in-hill recharge, custom batteries, charger, blade, the whole deal. I lowered it this week, and I just made a post. I posted it up for $1,000 or a possible trade, and I wrote all trades, So a couple guys tagged on to the post, and were like, it kind of came off like they were laughing at me a little bit. Like, wow, like we can get these Saber Forge sabers for $400 or $500, but you want $1,000? Like who, And I'm going to throw this out here again, and I'm going to say this to you guys. I had $850 invested in just parts to build that particular saber. Okay, Gabe here, he knows how much did it cost us when we built that saber. We had what, about 800, 900?
Yep.
$800 or $900 built into that saber, and that doesn't even have a string blade, folks.
No.
So when we, the creators of this stuff, say that this stuff is worth $1,000, trust me. I mean,
well, it's really. I guess someone would say it's only worth like what someone's going to pay.
What somebody's willing to pay.
But
Sure,
like,
I've heard that.
I've made sabers that cost like over like $925 to make, plus like 100 hours in, and just sold it for like $940.
Yeah. So what is your time
So
worth?
it's like-
I mean, what is your time worth
it's
to
like-
build this stuff?
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's like a passion that if you want to do it and stuff like that. The one thing that I've sort of learned about the custom sabers is that like it's harder to do what you were just saying, where like you made a custom saber and now you are saying to the world like who would like to buy this saber, whereas it's easier to have someone come to you and say like, I'd like a custom saber to look like X. I'd like stainless steel on the outside. I'd like chrome on the inside. I want it to be blue. You're like, okay, let me run from there. Because when you come up with your own ideas, it's like such a personal choice, like all the choices that you make, that it's going to be harder, right, to sort of, I mean, sometimes you can get lucky, right? You could be up there for 2 days and
I understand.
like, I love
Somebody
that.
grabs it right away. I
But
understand that.
For the most part, that's what I've learned with the ones that I've made, But if you make like a Qui-Gon or you make like a Mara Jade, ones people are used to, like, oh, I love that. Let me get that.
Yeah, they like that
something
particular. They've
new,
seen
it's
it
like,
already.
know
They've
what I
seen
mean?
it.
Yeah.
Well, the point I'm bringing up here is I was personally a little offended. Yeah, a couple guys went on and like, what are you kidding me? They made some derogatory comments. So I took the whole post down. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to throw out here that this stuff is expensive. These are what we're doing here. We are not Saber Forge. We do not have a company in Japan mass producing our stuff. And not to knock Saber Forge stuff. Their stuff is beautiful. Gabe has owned many Saber Forges. I think you've had a couple pieces that were Saber Forge that you redone. You did them up. You customized them. So it's a great saber. Their stuff it's great. It's mass produced. It's not one off. I mean, you could go out and hire Leonardo da Vinci to paint you a painting, and how much did he pay for the oil and the paintings and the canvas from Michael's Crafts, you know, he might have paid $50, but when you get done with the Da Vinci painting, it's worth what it's worth. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion
That's like
on this
a 1
stuff.
in a million.
Yeah, it's 1 in a million, and
example.
I was just a little offended, you know.
Well, it's the same
But
thing.
I liked what you said about you were willing to do a trade because
Yeah, I was
you know,
just
you're,
taking,
you're
you know.
open to other sabers out there, right? If
Oh
someone
yeah,
picked up,
definitely.
like, a movie
And
saber
and
or
if somebody
something
would have
cool.
said to me, well, you know, like I think $1,000 is a little much. You know, would you take 800? I probably would have considered that. You know, but and I realize, you know, keep in mind, I realize that I'm 50 years old, and a lot of the people who are into this are your basic teenagers. You know, and you know your 15-year-old kids. They're a little different. You know, they don't get it like we do. You know.
Well, some people, I guess, are like good with their money. Like I was never good. Like when I saw something that I really wanted, it was like I'll risk all to get that. I'm talking about lightsabers. You know, this show's about lightsabers, and I'm like so into lightsabers. It's like my head's gonna explode when this new movie comes out. You know what I mean? But
we all feel it. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
that like even you know years ago when we were like, let's say, in a hiatus in between movie trilogies, I was so crazy about lightsabers that, you know, like it'd be like, take my car, you know,
Give me a lightsaber,
because
yeah.
if I had something that looked, and you know, like that's just, I'm super excited in this time that we are in right now, because you know we can construct these like anything you want, right? You're making ones that suit what you want it to be. Gabe is building one that he wants with the blue LED. You know, maybe eventually there'll be a photon
like,
blue that'll come out. You know, that would be
I'm hoping.
sick.
I'm waiting for the
it's gonna look like.
photon.
Yeah. But blue.
Yeah, but blue, exactly.
Like
Blue photon.
that blue would be so eerie.
Oh my God.
I think the way I can imagine it.
nuts.
Tell me if you guys are imagining like an electric blue,
Oh,
like bluer than
Gorgeous.
we've seen so far.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
that
This,
would be
no, I mean,
gorgeous.
it's so hard to explain, but these photon blades that you're building are just amazing, and they look amazing on camera. But to see them in person, and I had made mention on our last episode when we shot it in your garage, that photon just gives off an amazing aura in person, and that's the only way to describe it. You know, like think Slimer in Ghostbusters when he comes busting through, and you see that aura around him. It really looks like that in person. I mean,
I can't believe that too. That like there's like at
that
least
little
an inch.
that line or the space you mean, like right here.
Like depending on how much I've had to drink.
I see. I mean, maybe my eyes are different, but I see an aura coming off of this saber. That's literally like if this was solid, it'd be still touching my hand.
Yeah.
And I mean, on camera, you can see where my hand is compared, but I really do see that aura of coming off of that photon blade. It's just amazing.
It's certainly epic. To like,
Oh, it's
to like
amazing.
swing around
No,
and
this
stuff
is
like that.
epic, hands down, and I'm hoping that again they come out with the blue.
Yeah, the blue.
Let's
I could just
do a little
imagine.
side by side.
So sick.
I'm using a tri-cree in this saber, which is actually a 2 LED. I know it's hard to see on camera.
2 LEDs are active.
2 LEDs are active right now. The third one is a flash on clash, but
Is
Now,
the flash
turn
on
on the
flash
photon.
active with that?
I don't have flash. You can do flash on clash, but I
Well,
just
when I was
have.
hitting the button before, I didn't.
Yeah,
see it.
I don't have. It's active to where it just blinks. You can see it'll blink, but the flash on clash is not. It's set up. It has an amber LED for flash.
This is
I'm actually waiting on a new card for this, and I'm going to put a crystal focus card in this. This is running a Petit Crouton. This is actually the saber that we were working on last week,
Oh,
or 2
right.
weeks
Yeah, a
ago,
couple weeks ago,
with the
yeah.
shroud. But I just wanted to kind of get a little visual image of the photon versus the tri-cree.
I actually like the way they both look on camera. I like the way yours looks on camera because I'm really getting the sense of this being thin.
Yeah.
And that's how they look now in like the Rebels cartoon, like really thin, and
Yeah,
that
they get
looks
thin.
cool. I also like the beefy look too. I kind of like them both.
One thing I
always
like.
that type of blade. This is like a Django blade to me.
One
like
thing
a
I
Corbin
like about
film.
these with the tri-cree, I like that little flare out right there
Yeah.
to the bottom of the saber.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Just throw some differences out there. I just lost my kill key.
That's right there.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Just don't kill my battery. Yeah. So I mean, the photons are just, excuse the expression, badass, man.
Yeah. I mean, from what Deanna from Vader's Vault was telling me was that they were working on the red and the blue.
Yeah.
To
So
come.
I did see that post.
And so the red, I think could be pretty
awesome.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not I'm not too like Sithy or whatever. I don't really usually play around with the red.
Right.
But I could imagine if there was a photoreactive red and it enhanced, because like to me, like this red, it's just the one I've been playing around with lately. The usually the shorter blades will look better as far as the string blades go too, because like the power is concentrated in like my super short white Shoto one is just, I don't know if I showed you guys, so blindingly
I've seen it. Yeah, it's
bright. And this red, like imagine if there's I don't know what, maybe like yellow LEDs could activate the yellow. I don't know what it's going to be, but if there was an aura like that on red, that could be something crazy too,
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. That Saber's just beautiful.
Thanks.
Are you planning on selling that, or are you going to keep
that
one
one's
for sale?
Available on FX right now.
Very nice. What are you asking, if you don't mind?
Well, I'm selling with 2 blades, unless, well, like it's this blade here and the red blade in it.
So you're selling it with a photon blade? Yeah,
the photon blade and the red, because it's supposed to be like the story about it's like a Jedi consular who like went bad later.
Okay.
That's 1675, I think it's on there for.
Beautiful.
And then if you don't want a beautiful photon blade, like I could take like 200 off of that or whatever.
And let me tell you, when I picked this up, this is probably one of the heaviest lightsabers that I've ever held.
Really?
It is heavy. It is solid. I don't know if any you guys or girls out there have ever.
JQ's pretty heavy.
This feels heavier to me.
Really?
Yeah, this feels heavier to me. You tell me. I don't know if you guys or girls out there are gun enthusiasts. I'm a gun collector and I'm a shooter. When I pick that Saber up, it feels like a solid, real ass weapon. That's just.
I mean, it's definitely club somebody over with
just
that.
a solid. There's no jiggle to anything in it. Anthony's stuff is it's amazing.
I think maybe part of it's that emitter that Tim. I think Tim made that emitter for my friend. My friend gave me that emitter.
It's got like
that's a custom one of a kind emitter, right? I've never seen that emitter before.
Has a steampunk type theme.
It's got some copper here.
It's kind of related to that one that I made, that green one that
you
were playing with. And
just beautiful.
I designed them at the same time, and this is like a couple of years ago.
It's got a light in this. The leather on this choke section here is it feels so nice in the hand. It's just amazing. Solid. Amazing, beautiful Saber. I love this piece.
Thanks, dude.
Love it.
Yeah, it would be sick if they had that red photon for that, or the blue. I think the blue is going to be something else. I think when that comes out, we're going to be talking for hours on the blue. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind when the blue comes out. You don't understand.
Because
who's your color, man?
I sort of think that it's going to be, I mean, I don't remember, if I could probably research it and find out, but I think that the green is going to excite for the blue color. Mm-hmm. And the best news about that, or if I think I'm right about this, is that how green got like the highest lumens. Like when we put the green LEDs, or you're like a tri-cree or one of these new green LEDs to produce the blue light, I think it's going to be the most epic, because green is the best color to the brightest color to the human eye, and we're like photoning that into blue, and it's just going to be like it's going to knock you over. I think.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to blow my mind.
Just the quality of the stuff is just getting better and better.
Yeah, so I can't wait for those new cards to come out. Speaking of things getting better and better, because I don't know. I think like exciting lightsaber things are happening, and they'll happen faster once those cards come out, like through I guess TCSS for America.
Yeah.
And
Michael's working on those.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get word on your card?
No, I'm still waiting. I did talk to Michael. He was telling me in email. I forget the name of the machine, but the machine that I think makes the little printed circuit cards for him It's been a little touchy lately.
Okay.
So that's been his main priority. And I said, you know, no rush. I said, you know, we'll get the cards when we get them.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to get this up and running and get those cards onto TCSS so everybody out there can get them. And I have plenty of Sabers to play with. I know Gabe's waiting on his. He's hurting. But soon, hopefully.
Do you have a CF7 in for repair, or it's only his you're waiting for?
No, it's
I have 3 out for repair right
okay.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I destroyed 3 of them.
Maybe it's like maybe more involved to fix the 7. I know it has a lot more features because I had a 6 in that I got word it's going to be on its way back soon. So maybe that's good news for whoever else.
Is Michael fixing yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe that's good news for you guys.
Maybe
that's the one going in this Saber.
Yeah,
and
we're
now
waiting
we
to
just
put that
put
in there.
the PLI in here. So once we put the crystal focus, we might try to get that going.
Like you did this
PLI.
recently?
Yeah, that was the last thing I installed. We had put in there that the hair.
Yeah, I had some problem with it when I put the PLI in. Every time the Saber would work great, but then when I tried to mount the box holding the battery charger, the charge pin, when I tried to mount that, when it touched the body of the Saber, it would short out. So my best guess was something was grounded or something was touching in the PLI.
Okay.
So I
have an idea for you guys. Like when you like you could save like little pieces of plastic, like like blister packs for shit. And then,
and line it.
And then cut like out like a little piece to go in between the metal, like what I've been doing lately, which I like better probably. But you kind of need a heat gun. You guys don't have a heat gun, I don't think. But like you can slide a piece of the clear, shrink over it, and just have
that has heat
pop
shrink on it. And I even went so far as to, there's the little pins that stick up next to all the individual LEDs. And I grounded them down a little bit just in case. But I think it has something to do with the screws holding the PLI in place.
Oh, okay.
So I actually, the way I remounted that PLI, I double wrapped it in heat shrink. But then I actually, emitted the way that it's held in, it's actually glued in place. And the screws in there are just actually dummy screws. They're not really holding it in right now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's glued in place.
Okay.
So it shouldn't move anywhere. It shouldn't go anywhere.
But you're waiting for the card to
Waiting for the
test
card,
it,
yeah. It's basically an empty Saber right now. And I know Gabe's hurting big time. He wants his Saber running.
Yeah, I've been waiting for
But we'll get it soon. We'll get it. Yeah.
Excited. That's
We'll
my
get
baby. That's a fully custom MHS build from TCSS. Custom powder coating.
The powder coating on there is beautiful. But the color, the
metallic
blue, and the gold
blue
is
with the
amazing.
metallic gold. The accents are blue. It has the tricrete blue.
And this is kind of the effect that I think the Photon blue is going to have, that electric.
Oh my god,
blue.
if it has that.
You know that.
Yeah,
it's going to be
just
nice.
weird,
and then the Crystal Focus 7.5, just that's like icing on the cake for this thing.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen? I know what's going to happen. We get the cards in. We're going to build it. And it's going to be like rocking. And then like a week after, they're going to come out with the blue Photon.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to rip the whole thing apart and rebuild it.
Is this going to be easy to change the LED?
Yeah, it's fairly easy. You can screw that emitter right off.
Okay, so you
unscrew
just
the emitter.
screw it off. The
it actually has the LED in there now.
Thing is just floating. It floats, but
you can unscrew it.
It gets pressed when we press this on.
Yeah, it's just sitting in there. The LED's just sitting in there right now.
Yeah, so that's really not that big a deal.
No.
Because what you can do as soon as you find out what
I'm going to
require, you can order one of those colors. So like you're like, oh, it's going to be the best with green.
With
like,
that
okay,
particular color, put it in there. That's if you decide to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know you and I like Gabe and I, we like to carry our Sabers everywhere they go. And I just told Gabe a little funny story too. I went into a mall near my house this weekend, and there was a costume store was there. And there was a guy, real tall guy, dressed up as Darth Vader. And here, we all support open carry, set of lightsabers. So I walked up and I saw this guy.
You didn't have a blade, probably.
I didn't have the blade, no. But the Darth Vader guy was standing there, and I looked at him and I went. And he looked at me, and I went. I pulled my shirt up and I revealed my saber on my belt. And he went, and then he pulled his saber out. His was just one of the cheapy plastic, like $10 ones. He shot the blade out. So I pulled my pin and actually activated. And the funny thing is, there was like a mall security guy there. He was actually like watching us because I think he thought like I was going to attack Darth Vader or something like that. But we were just playing around. But it was funny. It was neat.
Because I think you could also like assuming that a different color LED other than blue would activate the photon, you could take the piece.
Take a piece of that photon blade.
Make a blade
make a
plug.
blade
So when
plug
you do
out of
carry around, like you're saying,
Yeah.
and you want to ignite, it's not going to look like that other color. It'll look like
Yeah.
whatever blue it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm going to show, if you don't mind, I like showing off my blade plugs. If you don't mind, I'm going to see what I did with it.
Crystal blade plug.
Yeah, I like my crystal blade plug. So this is my little blade plug right here.
Is this a new one?
If you look in,
I know you
actually
said
this was in my other Saber, and I just took it out of that one and put it into this one. When I
like the way
originally
that
had
one
this,
lights up,
yeah, it did. It has the razor blade plug in the top of it, and it has a crystal in there, like if you can see that. And when you put that into there, like that, and you actually pull that pin and fire that up, it's kind of hard to see on camera because it's very, very bright. But in person, it really lights up the whole crystal, which is kind of a neat feature. And then
can you get it closer to the camera?
Can I get it closer, you think?
I just think maybe it really lights up kind of cool. I don't know if they're focusing. Oh, yeah,
there you go. There you go. Now you can really see it.
That.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat.
It's like kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Very cool.
Or it looks like that one crystal that he in the old Supermans. He
Where you
activates
made
everything
the
with.
Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah. Superman's crystal. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I like that. It's a nice little feature into the Saber.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm just waiting for the Force to bring life to my Saber.
Soon. Soon. How long has your board been out for repair?
I don't recall. Maybe it was like the summertime. I sent it out.
Okay, so I think I'm actually not far behind you. I sent mine out. I'm going to say July, maybe August.
Maybe it was around the same.
Yeah.
Maybe mine was a little earlier, but
yeah. So if your stuff's coming back, maybe Michael, please, my stuff's on the way.
yeah, he's probably working his way through those repairs.
So let's talk a little bit about your hat.
I got a. This is actually a gift from my buddy Revan Reborn on the FX Saber forums. Dan gave me. Hopefully you guys can see that the whole time. Custom Saber Shop hat.
Very cool.
I think it was for my birthday or Christmas one year, or something like that.
Very cool. Very cool. We are huge fans of the Custom Saber Shop. Tim is an amazing, amazing dude. I saw somebody post this week they were going to send out a saber to have, they tried to drill something out, like a port for something, and they messed it up a little bit. They were going to send it to Tim to repair it. And he was a little on the fence about, what if I send it? What if he can't fix it? Because Tim, sends out a disclaimer and said, listen, I'll try my best, but you already kind of destroyed it. So, you're not leaving me much to work with. But Tim, if it can be done, Tim can do it. He's just amazing, amazing guy. I don't know if I told this story on our little podcast here, but one time I had sent Tim a note for some custom work, and it was very cool. I'm sitting at home on a Sunday afternoon, and my phone rings, and it comes up, Washington.
Oh, I think I remember this.
Did I tell you this story? It comes up Washington, and I'm like, who could that be? So I answered the phone, and Tim actually called me to ask a couple questions about the custom work that I had ordered. And my hands started shaking. And I was a little nervous. It was like a rock star, you know what I mean? It was like a rock star calling me personally.
That's awesome.
So it was cool. It was a cool little experience.
Yeah, I've been looking on the new website that they have going. I guess it's supposed to be cleaner and stuff like that. Having a little trouble finding things, but it's probably because it's like learning curve on this.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. Probably everything's there. It's just in a different place,
But I do still like looking at the what's new section, because as soon as this Photon thing comes out, or you were telling me that there's going to be Photon tips.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was.
Out, so I'm going to be looking there for the Photon tips.
Yeah, I think Tim from. I think Rob from Mad Cow posted them up on Facebook. He showed a little teaser that they were coming out.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But
keeping an eye out for that. Keeping an eye out for PCBs, PCBs, which aren't there yet. I'm keeping an eye out for PEXs, which I guess since they're board related, they might be held up with the other board stuff.
Did you check Plector Labs website? Because I think
they had like four. Okay, he had like 4 PEXs or something like that, and I was gonna order from him. But what I wanted to do was tack on other stuff. But if you look down the list of stuff, there's like 0, 0, 0. They have nothing. And what I really want from there is the wires, because like his 28 gauge wire from Irv is like the absolute best. It bends the best, and it's thinner. It seems thinner, or maybe the coating is thinner than other like 28 gauge wires, which helps for. You use
28.
Yeah, and
I use mostly 26 in mine.
Yeah, like that. I used to do that, but also what I've been doing is going with these string blades a lot, as you know, and I like Irv's white strand. So one time I would order like 10 rolls of the wire from Irv. Basically, I mean, I'm going to use it all. I've been using it. I enjoy using it. But really, I pulled out all the white strings first, put them in string blades, because the way it worked in a string blade is so flawless and beautiful that the white, I mean, I've been trying... I must have spent $300 on wire from Amazon and different places, Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, everywhere, ordering everyone's wire.
Just see what works best for you.
I have some in the mail right now that maybe I'm going to be getting in a couple of days, some wire that I like. But basically, a lot of the wire I've been getting, like I get pissed off because like it's like I've been trying 30 gauge wire, and I feel like at least the quality of the 30 gauge wire I've been trying, like, stinks.
30 is really thin.
Yeah, but it's
are you ever afraid of it breaking now?
That's what the problem is, because like a solder connection could see when I'm building the string blade, it's very delicate until we get it finally in the finished form.
So it's solid.
Then it's better, right? Because if it takes an impact, it's going to spread across the plastic first, then to the diffuser, then to the foam, and then it's going to affect an
They're pretty
LED.
well, when you pack them inside a blade, they're pretty well.
Yeah, but during that whole packing process, like when we eventually do a video of like making the string blade, you'll see how it can be frustrating, because when you're using like the closed cell foam tube, which I think works the best for it, like you're kind of like, it's like, I don't, you know, to get this foam on there, it takes like a freaking hour, you know what I mean? And the whole time, all the pressure that you're putting trying to maneuver the foam around the bulky little string setup that you made, because I'm always trying to pack more in and et cetera, that's where a wire can get disconnected or something. Even though I'm packing it in shrink, that 30 gauge, sometimes it goes bloink, and I'm always testing before I go in, and it's like segment 4 is not lighting, and then there's
that's what I was just going to ask you.
Mental explosion.
I was going to ask you, have you ever like spent all that time building it, and then it works, and then you pack it in,
oh my God,
and then as soon as you pack it in, you fire it up, and it's not working, you take it all apart.
Just last week, I think I started to tell the story, or I hinted at it on the Sith Magistrate video I just did yesterday, where like I built a beautiful 8mm red string blade in the Serial L Class 3 setup, and these batteries I've just been putting in these 3 Sabers have the biggest batteries possible, like high milliamp, and like it's even too much for this low voltage LED of only 2.1 volts, that it started to burn out LEDs, you know, and this is after like 4 or 5 days of just like, you know,
testing,
just working on the blade, and then through testing did I find out that blade was trash.
It's heartbreaking,
you know?
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
At least that's like the first one in like 30. Now, like I've had other ones that like, I have a green one that was like the second one I ever made, that I just go through them every once in a while just to test, and that one is something's wrong with the top segment, where like you plug it into the Saber and the top segment lights dimly. It's kind of like there the whole time, so I'm like, what's that? But like basically I'm just gonna disassemble the entire thing. Like something like that can be fixed, but when you start like blowing LEDs, I can't trust the rest of the LEDs to use again. So basically I had to order a whole nother set of 8mm LEDs. I didn't feel like the problem wasn't the LEDs. The problem was with me.
Something you did wrong.
You know, I didn't use resistors in my Saber. I don't want to use resistors, so I just had to invent like the next Serial L class. Just invent Serial L Class 4. Just wire it like that, and it'll never burn out because
I hate
resistors.
resistors.
The way. Yeah, like,
they're such a nightmare to learn them, to learn how to read them, to learn how to figure them out. I
had it in my Saber here when I was testing the Crystal Focus LS for 2 years in this Saber. I had resistors, but it was pissing me off because there was certain LED strings that I wanted to run that I needed that juice. And even by setting it to the maximum, I couldn't get the juice. Like my RGB, I couldn't get the effects to activate fully because like I wasn't getting 8 volts. I was getting like resistor like 6.5 volts, which is great to keep all the blades safe. But I, you know, you just want that extra.
You weren't getting out of the blade what you wanted. That full effect.
Because some of the LEDs that I was testing is like 4-volt LEDs. We multiply that times 2 for serial L class 2. We're already talking 8 volts, and then there were some LEDs that were 5 volts. So in that case, you know, you need really 10 volts if you're wiring in serial L. So,
have you ever had a situation where you create a blade and it works great in one saber, then you put it in another and it doesn't do what you expected it to do? Or all your blades pretty much will work in any one of your sabers?
You know, well, you're right. It definitely depends on the saber, but I've been wiring like battery packs that I've already sort of tested already, so I know what's going to happen. Like I know that if I wire 14 500ths, it's not going to run my RGB blade to the right
To the
tip like you saw. So I had a, you know, like in between. I don't know if I think because Gabe, you remember the last time you were here, you were complaining about this button?
Yeah.
So I completely like rebuilt the inside of the saber, put 18650s, changed the button.
Oh, you put a new button in?
Yeah, like did some stuff.
I find sometimes
So
I've
they
had it.
Yeah, you had to like push it in.
I've had a few buttons go bad on me actually.
Well, it wasn't the button that was bad. It was just like if you remember, you had
it all the way down.
It was latching. It was latching, and you had to like have a girl's finger kind of to get in there.
To get into it.
So I have girls' fingers now?
No, well, you were complaining about it. You said
you couldn't
it's
get
hard
your
to
finger
get to. And
I love the PLI on that saber.
I do.
I do find a problem with this button though, because I guess because I have it raised, is that sometimes I do turn it off accidentally.
Yeah.
And as my finger kind of like flips by or whatever. But
now it's like real super sensitive.
There's a feature on the Plector boards that you can. I think it's APOP, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it allows you to, so you have to hit multiple buttons to turn the blade
you know,
off.
I never liked that. Like
I don't like it either.
On my Qui-Gon.
But it would actually stop you, like while you're playing.
You're right,
with it.
like
you wouldn't stop. You'd hit the button
for a saber like this with a raised power button. That's very easily struck. That makes sense, right? Because you have to hold the aux button, then hit the power button. There's also in the SD card you can do timing for that. So, like I have mine set where just a tap is going to ignite it, but we could do it where we have.
You have to actually hold it for a few seconds to turn it down to power it up.
So that would probably be smart for me to do that here. I think maybe that's how I set up the Qui-Gon.
That's a pretty Qui-Gon. Very nice.
Yeah, I love those deep groove Vader's Vault Qui-Gons. Pretty cool. I have like 2 of those that I'm actually just waiting. You guys used to see me have a Qui-Gon that was a string blade, but I think at the same time that I took that out and I put it into something. Like I disassembled the entire Qui-Gon to get to the card because we're short on cards. I think this has the Qui-Gon card. And this has an LS card that somebody sold me on the IRA.
Okay. Love the copper effect. Beautiful. In fact, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. I'm thinking about doing something on the back here. I'm not sure what I want to do. I was saying I'm thinking about maybe you guys can post up. I was thinking about doing a bunny ears.
Yeah,
you know?
I got an idea actually. Like since you're thinking about something in this
something on the back.
Here,
yeah, something on the back.
What if like whatever you did here continued here? So like if you put a strip here, you put a strip here, and then put the bunny ears on top of it, or put the bunny ears and then start a little strip, and then or if it was a let's say it started out slender and got a little wider, and then you can continue that, or let's say it was slender and got wider.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. That's a pretty cool idea. Something to add a little more customability to it. You know what I mean? Something to say,
Line up here. Yeah, that's pretty cool because of the way we
it's beautifully lined up.
Aligned it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That one day that now you have that channel that you could even imagine this like a shroud piece with just a little
Comes down a little into the grips.
It just comes down a little bit, like sort of as that is round,
Mhm.
that can be a little round, and then
Mhm.
it could, it could start and come up wider, or something,
Yeah, you know what that means? That means another hour or two on the drill press.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means another episode.
Yeah.
That means a whole other episode.
Do you think? Let me
I love
ask you
the
this.
curve of that shroud.
Let me pick your brain on this. If we were to put a copper piece on here, right? Do you think the bunny ears would be strong enough to hold the copper piece on, or would you have to add some more?
Yeah,
more
the
button
bunny
heads?
ears actually have 2 screws.
2 screws, yeah.
So it's
You think it would be strong enough to hold that copper
did
on?
that here, as you can see. Like, so this does have 2 screws here, but this whole front section is just held on by the bunny ear screws. Those are
But
deep.
you actually have it wrapped around them. Oh, that's just the one piece.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a separate piece.
Yeah, like this
Gotcha.
is connected down here, but that would like kind of flop up without the bunny ears.
Gotcha.
So I think it's pretty tough. Like,
Pretty
especially
hard?
if your
Pretty-
piece
yeah.
was like 2 inches, what would be 2.5, 3 inches maximum here.
Mhm.
Like the shroud piece would probably be fine.
Not bad.
Yeah,
I think I'm
that'd
going to
be
order
cool.
me a bunny ear.
I love the look of those. Yeah, I'm going to build a Saber staff with bunny ears on both sides. It's going to be like a weird Graflex, like big honky style.
I like the bunny
Saber
ears
staff.
too. Some people don't like them. They get in people's way.
Mm.
I think it adds a nice little flair.
Well, you know what I like too?
Little throwback.
Sometimes see if you could pick this up with your ear.
Oh, what do you like a
I don't know
pitchfork?
why, but like
My
sometimes
hearing's-
my thumb flashes by it,
Mhm.
and it's
Let me
just
see, let me
something I
see.
don't know.
My hearing's actually very bad. It's like a pitchfork. Yeah, I can hear it now.
Or even like do it
Bling.
gently. It's a nice sound.
Bling. It's
Yeah.
like a pitchfork.
Yeah.
Very cool. Never realized that. That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to order me some more shroud material. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Copper? What do you think? Copper or brass?
Well, I would say brass because you have a brass cover tech wheel.
But I'm thinking about doing some powder coat and copper in the middle.
But you also said brass too, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. And the copper
I think I
tech
have a
brass.
piece of copper that would work there.
Nice. Yeah, scraps. Save your scraps. man.
Brass. No, I have brass that's too thin. It's like, I like. Well, I was just turned on to this website by one of the. Another thing I wanted to mention was just the custom Saber shop contest that they had, which I've seen before, but I kind of missed it this year. I don't know if they do it every year.
I think they do it every year.
Yeah, I really love that contest. I just want to give props to Tim or whoever's setting up that contest. Whoever
Did they
thought
do
of
the
it, I
winners
think it's
yet?
fantastic.
Is it
Yeah,
over?
they had winners.
I haven't seen who won yet.
And then they just finally allowed the winners or the contestants to sort of display their sabers on the forum. So you might see that start popping up where
Okay.
people, and I don't visit the custom Saber shop forums. I want to more because like I miss out on cool things like that contest. I love what people do in that contest. So just like, keep going with that contest. I really love it. People do some amazing things. Like I feel like I have like 2 or 3 tricks up my sleeve. I could make a saber kind of cool. I have 2 or 3 tricks. These people that enter the contest, they have like 37 tricks that they put into one saber. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They have engravings. They have crystal chambers.
Yeah.
Things are spinning. Like things are
Amazing stuff.
It's amazing. So
Innovation, man.
yeah, like I got to get
Very
on
cool
that
stuff.
on that forum more. I hope more people talk about that contest when it's around or whatever, because I'm almost unaware that it's happening. I became aware like a month ago, and I think it was already over or something like that.
You
So,
should definitely put some of your pieces in there.
Well, yeah, I would always love to enter. I mean, the ones that win are so amazing. I would never expect
Beautiful
to win.
stuff, yeah.
But amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like the level of detail and the compactness that people get all their stuff into. It's just like next level. I can't even believe
good
it.
stuff.
But that's such an awesome contest. We were talking about the TCSS website before, so I wanted to bring that up. But what I was saying before that was about the online medals. One of the contest winners, I think, mentioned that some of their parts came from online metals, I think it's called, and you could get different tubes. So I was like kind of looking at that website. They have copper, brass, aluminum, and in different thicknesses. I saw somebody working with, as you can see here, my shroud pieces, the thickness of it. This is all from the custom Saber shop.
Okay.
But there's some aluminum stock that has
A little thicker, a little thinner.
And it kind of looks cool because when it's a little thicker and you do your bevel, the way the light reflects off the bevel, it really looks like something. It looks like Star Wars chunk. You know what I mean? Like the Graflex, like that. It was always chunky.
Well, I like how you incorporate a lot of your stuff. You do a lot of the multi-level shroud, you know? And, I mean, I love the piece on that on the back. I guess would be the back of it, where the shroud actually is 2 pieces, and then it's got a bridge going across it. You can, you know, it's dark. You can't see through it, but you can tell there's a space in there that curves around. I love that. I love that.
Wouldn't it be cool maybe in like a future design to have something like that, but have actually little LEDs in there that
to light
maybe,
it up.
yeah, like
Oh,
because like you're saying, it's dark in there. But what if it was all kind of dancing with LEDs? That'd be kind of crazy.
Pretty cool.
Maybe in the 3rd iteration, because like this is the first one. My friend Bane is actually having me build, like my project right now that I'm working on is making the Quiflex 2, and he's calling it the Galaxy Saber. He has like a different powder coat here, which is black chrome. Looks really cool, and so I'm working on, you know, shaping those all the shroud pieces that are required for it. But in the future, that would be something
very
cool. And that's like something like I talked about with that contest. Some of the stuff people have come out with, like I remember, I think if I'm right about this, from maybe 6-7 years ago, Vader's Vault actually won that contest, and that's kind of how they
elevated their.
I would say that took it to the next level because they had submitted something that had so many like blinkies and cool things on it. I think they won it, if I'm not mistaken, with Oasis, which is like their one of their earlier really blingy style pieces that like attracted a lot of people to Vader's Vault, and so it's just a cool thing. They have that contest, people could enter it, win it. I don't know what the prize is, but I'm assuming it has to do with MHS parts or custom Saber shop.
Probably like
card,
you get a gift certificate. I don't know what the winnings are. Yeah,
so cool. Or maybe I think I used to know what the prize was. Maybe he pays for your parts that you built. I don't know, but just super cool. Not only for, you know, looking at all those contest things, but what it could do for, you know, for someone like that.
My mind is turning right now. You just opened up so many ideas for me. I'm like, I want to go home and hit the Home Depot and buy a copper tube, you know?
Like the double speaker thing we saw earlier.
That was the winner, I think. I don't know if there's multiple winners, but one of the winners posted on FX Sabers and had that double speaker thing that I guess you guys saw too. And that's something I've always thought about with the double speaker. I know other people have done it, even in the Plector Labs manual. I read the manual so many times. I know that he even addresses how to do that. Now, I don't know if this person did that way that Irv recommends, or if they just, because I think first I would do a test and just try splitting it and see what happened there. But there's a way.
Well, on the boards, there's only one set of speaker outputs on the board.
So I would recommend something to do that's extra.
Does he bridge them? Does he? And I'm using my my musical knowledge here, but sometimes when we set up the band stuff, some of the PA speakers are, you know, like you have your main PA here, and then you have a set of wires going to this speaker and a set of wires going to that speaker. And that's not always the way you can do it. You can daisy chain it. You can send wires to this speaker and then an output from that speaker to this speaker. So that's called daisy chaining. So, I mean, are we attaching 4 wires to the positive and negative on the board, so it goes one speaker this way and one speaker that way? Or are we daisy chaining them where you got the power going from here to the one speaker, and then the speaker wires going from there to the next? I forget what the specific instruction. There was specific instructions, but in a daisy chain, for how you know of it, is there a delay? There isn't. No, there isn't. It's. I mean, it's from one speaker to the next. I would almost prefer it in a Saber. It was like it might be cool, but I think on the lines that you may understand it, it's the same thing as your string blades. You know, like there's a delay going because you're doing, you know, a section and then a section. But if you actually had all the sections come on at one time, even though, you know, there's a section here and all sections would light up at the same time. So I would think it would activate all speakers at the same time. Maybe, but possibly. But the only thing I thought of while you were saying that was like speed of light versus speed of sound. Speed of light so fast, speed of sound slower. But keep in mind, it's not a sound. What you're actually throwing is a power. You're throwing a power. The speaker is what actually creates the sound. Right. But the wire is only sending the electrical impulses to make that cone bounce, and that's what creates the sound. Yeah, because I would love, like we were talking about earlier, to put 2 speakers in a Saber like yours and have one facing forward. Speaker at the top and a speaker at the bottom. Because when you're
let's say you're dueling with your buddies, and you know I ignite my saber. Wouldn't it be sick if there was
throw
another,
the sound?
Yeah, so that you guys get the effect.
Well, that's what this guy did with the Force Foundry. He has the
I
chamber.
didn't see the inside, but I know that he said there was two.
Yeah, he showed a video on the Facebook page. He has a little crystal chamber, and then one speaker's facing down, and the other one's facing up.
Awesome, yeah, that's
so
the best.
Both sounds are hitting and bouncing out the middle.
That's the greatest.
And it's on
and
the. There's no delay on it.
Sound holes or something like that.
Yeah, you hear it loud and clear. I mean, it's super freaking loud. He has the bass speaker up top and a regular premium speaker on the bottom.
That's the best.
So, and then the opening is only coming from one side, from the crystal chamber. There's no cutout on the other side. So that sound is just all coming in and straight out the middle, and it's just loud as hell. I mean, it's ridiculously loud. It's a beautiful concept, and it's awesome.
Because I know LDM, like we've talked about before, always did the reverse sound where like it would come out of
the top,
that part like that, because he always does like the thin neck sabers, and I think he would have hidden sound holes where the neck gets thin, that it would, you know, like I said, if you were fighting somebody, they would get that effect.
My saber in particular, the speaker faces the bottom, but I don't know if you guys are going to pick this up on camera. When we remove the kill key, there actually is a hole now in the saber body. And let me see if I can get this a little closer.
What's the other kill key?
That's your rice port.
Okay.
That's actually just a fake kill key.
Out, is there extra sound you think coming through?
It's one or both. It doesn't really affect both. But that, I'll do it for you first. Give a listen here. Watch what happens when I cover that.
Yeah, it's different.
Can you hear it?
It's almost like the bottom gets louder, at least to my ear.
You think so? You think the bottom gets louder? Or do you think it's coming out at the top?
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, so here, I'll show this on camera here. You know, I'm covering that hole right there from where the kill key is. I don't know if you guys are picking that up. Just an interesting little fact.
Yeah, it's cool.
I was thinking about maybe, once I'm done with this piece, I was thinking about putting a little micro sound hole into the neck here, the neck of the saber. I was thinking about doing something like that. I had one. Yeah, maybe a couple nice little, add a little, flare, just a little sound port, but it'll just, it'll make that speaker just pop a little more. Yeah. More time in the drill press.
Yeah. One other thing that you just brought to mind too, when you were asking about like ideas for that, this is just an idea, but Graflex pins. Like, let's say there was that shroud piece that you want to lay on top near the bunny ears, maybe. Maybe it's the bunny ears, and then it's on the shroud piece, holding the shroud piece in, right? Then the shroud piece could have a hole cut out of it,
and the bunny,
underneath
the
this painted
coming
black,
out,
and the
like a little charge port or something.
Yeah,
on the
like a faux recharge port.
Yeah.
Which I think I did that. I did that on. I'm getting confused now. I did that on some saber, maybe the one that you saw, that Makoto. I can't remember. But it's like the same type of thing that's on a Star Killer. If I had a Star Killer, I would show you. But
yep, I know. It's on the side next to the eye, the glass eye. There's some of the. I think the Saberforge, Star Killer only has one, but I think you had the Vader's Vault Star Killer.
And it looked more like
and
this,
it had two.
Right?
Yeah, it had two. Yeah, it looked a lot like that. Yep.
Yeah, because I like that look of the recessed
the recharge
pins, and this actually has two sets of them. And they sell the short one and the long one, so you can put like a short one next to the long one. Yeah. So
it doesn't stick out real far. Yeah. I actually used those pins when I rebuilt my my real Graflex. I used the shorter pins on my real Graflex because the pins that I had on there were a little beat up, a little old and kind of tarnished. And I think the pins had been replaced a few times on that Graflex before I purchased it. And so I bought 4 new nice looking,
nice shiny ones.
Yeah, nice shiny pins. Yeah. I used the short ones on there, and they are a pain in the ass to get in there. Have you ever taken them out? Oh my god!
But I do like that little tool.
I was going to say Tim has that tool, but it's not on the site anymore.
Oh, it's not on the site.
I haven't seen it. I would buy one.
Yeah, like you know where it might be available too? Isn't there a shop online for Graflex parts called like the Graflex shop, or it's called
could be, yeah,
something like that? Yeah. It's where like these people that are really into Graflexes are probably yelling, it's called this, but whatever it's called, they have Graflex parts, I think, or fake Graflex parts.
Yeah, they're replacement
parts.
Yeah,
once you find that tool, and it makes it so much easier, because when I would try to do it with I had to order like 4 sets just to make sure that when I inevitably scratched up the first set trying to get it on. I tossed them, and
Yeah.
you know, I used to put little bits of rubber on the end of my plier and try to get it
actually
on
used the tweezers to get mine, and that's what I did. I had a tweezer, but I put a little rubber band on from one of my kids' braces, and that way the tweezer kind of pinched down on the pin. I was able to get the pin in there and then just tweeze it in. What a pain in the butt that was, man. I want to say for 4 little tiny, these micro pins, they're less than like, I'm going to say a 1/4 inch. What are they,
really
like a
little.
1/8 inch of an inch? They're so tiny. Yeah, and me, like I'm a fat old man with stubby little fingers, man. I mean, like, oh my God, what a nightmare that was.
If it's recessed.
I want to say it took me probably a good hour and a half, 2 hours just to insert 4 Graflex pins into that Graflex Saber. Yeah. What a nightmare that was.
So Gabe, do you have your Force Awakens tickets?
No, actually.
I did not get them either. Did you get them?
Yeah,
you did.
I pre-ordered. My buddy that comes and helps me build sabers sometimes, Dan. We're gonna go twice on the Friday. So we're gonna go at like 9
dressing up.
We're gonna go 9 a.m. No, I don't think so.
No.
We're gonna go 9 a.m. and
Speaking
also.
of that, though,
I'm gonna dress up.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys what you're gonna do, if anything, for Halloween or whatever.
Nothing
Or if
Halloween.
you're gonna do anything for the movie.
I'm actually playing. I play in a band. I'll be playing a gig, a Halloween party Saturday night. So
But
I'll
you don't
be,
play in some kind of.
No, I'm a drummer, and it's really, really hard to play the way that I play. I'm a show drummer. I throw sticks up in the air, and it's I'm built into a little tiny drum kit that surrounds me.
Like hanging out.
Yeah, so it's kind of tough to play, and I sweat like a monster when I play. So it's kind of hard to play in a costume, So my band guys will be dressing up. The guys in the front, they'll probably be in costumes, but it's too hard for me to dress and play. Yeah, and for me, it's a business. So even though it's a Halloween party, everybody else will be playing. But,
I don't know what I'm doing.
For
As far as the movie though, I saw online that AMC's are putting AMC theaters are putting a lot of they're putting restrictions on costumes and stuff.
costumes, weapons. I saw
because that's where I got my tickets from, and at the top it did say something that I never saw before, which it said you are welcome to bring your lightsabers and costumes, but please don't
no
bring
blasters
any guns or
and
no weapons.
Yeah, did they say blasters or guns?
Yeah, something like that.
And then they said just please turn off the lightsabers by the time the movie starts. I mean, which made sense, and I was happy that they are allowing.
For all you guys that are
lightsabers.
gonna go watch the movie, wherever part of the country you're in, just do your research first. Check with your movie theater. You don't want to go all the way over there
With a blaster?
with a blaster or dressed in a certain costume way that they don't approve of, and they'll turn you away or something like that, and you're standing there with tickets like, no!
Yeah.
two words: be respectable. Be respectable to other people. And most Star Wars fans are.
Yeah.
So, but be respectable. There are other people that pay just as much as you did to get in to see the movie,
Yeah.
and you don't want to ruin their experience.
Well, what's really cool nowadays is like, I don't know about theaters, like where you guys live or where anyone lives. I only know here, but like here we can go online and like pick out even the seat, right? Like
Yeah,
wherever
there's
you
certain
want to sit.
theaters where you
know
can
that.
even pick out the seats.
So
Like,
yeah,
I've
so
been
it's
to
like
that.
you kind of go knowing like, okay, I'm sitting in the back, I have this seat, or whatever. So it's like, oh, is there going to be, or are you going to be separated from your buddy or something like that? It's like you can a lot of times pick where.
Yeah, it's gonna be a madhouse in December with this movie. I mean,
it's kind of close. It's only like 7 weeks away.
No, when this movie comes out,
Getting
it's gonna
pretty crazy.
be Comic-Con, Comic-Con all over again.
Have you guys
in
heard
every
what they're
theater.
projecting for the opening budget? The opening, what it's supposed to make?
Man,
Yeah.
look,
I mean,
people,
I think Jurassic World was like the biggest opening so far at 300 million, I think, or 200 million, something like that.
for
Let
For
me
a
tell you
premiere
something.
weekend.
people, I promise you, people that probably didn't get tickets or anything, they'll probably still go dressed up to the theater because their friends are going, and it's going to be like a comic. They're just going to be tailgating,
Hanging out, yeah.
the movie,
I think
waiting
a lot
outside.
of people are even that aren't like as crazy as us are into.
No, it's going to be a madhouse. I mean, you're talking generations of fans.
I'm surprised you guys didn't get your
generations.
tickets already. Like you guys don't know what
I
you're going
did
to do
not,
that particular day.
Now, you know why?
See, my problem is, like I said, I don't have a lot of time. And my band, we book so many gigs, and the weekends are kind of tough for me. So, I mean, I don't know if I might get a gig at the last minute. Now I'm stuck with the tickets, and so I can't. It's like my job. I can't really, and I work a day job too. So, I don't know. I can't buy tickets in advance for something like that. It's tough.
I'm just kind of worried about, like, you know, if you go on the internet before you saw it and catch something.
I don't know, that thing sold out so freaking fast.
Yeah.
And then I saw...
Star Wars crashed the internet. It's not even out yet.
And no, check this out. Then I saw on eBay, they were selling tickets.
People were scalping the tickets.
Oh my God.
$500 for tickets. For two tickets or something to get in there.
Don't tell Uncle George.
But they have to be able to, they're going to be able to stop that from happening. Sure.
No, it's crazy. I mean, I decided not to get them because I don't mind the wait. I already know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be hectic. And a lot of people, oh, you're not a real fan, and you should be there at midnight and wait all night long. And, you know, I get that. I get that. If you're, you know, that kind of fan, more power to you. But I don't want it to be too crazy. And I know it's going to be crazy. This movie, like you're just saying, it broke the internet, you know, and
the internet.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so wild. It's going to be another Comic-Con. There's going to be parties, you know, Star Wars themed parties because the movie's come out. Anything you can think of. I mean,
well,
we're
actually,
talking...
like, makes me like you guys more because you guys carry your sabers everywhere.
Yeah.
But you don't have tickets yet, so it means you like sabers more.
Yeah.
Than Star Wars. Now
That's funny.
Like,
Yeah. If you're a real fan, you'll carry it no matter what, everywhere.
And you don't have tickets, but you have the saber. You don't have the tickets in your pocket, but you have the saber in your pocket.
You know what? The movie will be there. I mean, I do want to see it opening night.
Yeah.
But, and I'm, you know, if somebody comes up and tells me who died, I don't want to know who died. You know?
But at the same time, I say I can wait. But I know that this movie's going to be in theaters for such a long time.
It'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll catch it 2 or 3 days.
It's going to be crowded,
you know?
for weeks.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm going to have to wait longer than what I'm actually, you know.
So, like, I try to go in the morning of the Friday because I figured that
Most
people would be in
working.
school and working and stuff like that, or whoever, you know, it is close to
like
Christmas,
a daytime
so
showing.
maybe people have off, but, like, I think, like, that, like, it's
Dude,
going to be hard for you to
I
wake
would
up.
go opening night just to take pictures because you're going to see some of the coolest
definitely
stuff.
bring a camera.
Bring
Have
a
you guys
camera.
heard about a couple theaters are doing like marathon
Yeah,
showings
yeah.
where they're going to
Got
show
tickets,
like 1 through 6?
I heard about that,
And
but
then
I didn't know that
7.
was actually going
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I heard a couple theaters are doing that. I don't know
someone that
who
got
or where
tickets
they're
for that.
doing it, but I have heard about that.
That's
That looks
crazy.
pretty cool.
Those are
I
real
could-
diehard fans to be there.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
let me get back to this. I heard $600 million is projected opening weekend.
good for them. That means more movies.
Yeah.
Just keep making them. We'll
Yeah,
keep going.
don't stop.
Yeah.
Didn't they start another spin-off movie or something?
Yeah, well, they're like every single year we're supposed to get another movie, so we just always have something to look forward to. Whether it be they're going to switch it up. It's not going to be December. After a while, it is going to be December for the next couple of times, but then it's going to switch to May, I think. So there's going to be actually a time where I think it's going to be 6 months later we're going to get a movie.
Yeah.
That's going to be sweet.
You know how you know you're a Star Wars nerd and you're old? When you start thinking about, am I going to get to see the next episode?
I know.
Or am I going to...
You don't have to be old to
Kick
think
it.
that way. Like,
Am I going to
I
kick
gotta
it before
drive,
the new episode
I
comes
gotta
out?
drive better and safer so that I
So I
can
can
make it to
make
this
it.
movie. Like I'll crawl to this movie. Just like give me a couple arms to get there.
I'm diabetic. I better start watching my sugar intake a little closer
I've been
so I
been
can get to
thinking
the
about
next
my
Star Wars
food
movie.
choices too. Like should I eat less bacon because the movies are coming out?
Yeah, we laugh, but it's true. I was just talking to someone the other day about that. I mean, this is where, again, like I said earlier a few minutes ago, we're talking generations of fans. Generations. I mean, this is before I was born or just about when I was born. You know, I grew up watching that stuff as a little kid, and still to this day, here we are, the year 2015, episode 7.
I gotta say,
look at the hysteria it's causing.
I gotta say one thing. I think I got you guys beat on.
What's that?
I saw the original Star Wars
Oh yeah,
in the theater.
when it came out.
I did 70. I'm showing my age,
And you remember it?
and I remember it like probably remember it because I've watched it about a million times too. But yeah, I do.
Wow.
I mean, I remember going. I remember my mom. I think it was my sister actually took me to that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my mom, but I think
That's
my
an
sister
awesome
took me.
I don't know what I would have done if I was 7 and saw that. I mean, I honestly don't know.
How old
When
were you?
first movie came out in
77.
76 or 77.
It was made in 76, came out in 77.
Okay,
I
I'm
was
born
born then.
January. I'm born January of 66.
Yeah.
So I was 11 years old.
Oh,
when it came
wow.
out.
That's
one.
even better, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about Star Wars yet.
Oh, and I'll tell you what. I mean, one of the biggest things I'll never forget. There was a chain of toy stores in my area, which was part of the Lionel train stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a huge store, like a Toys R Us chain. They were called Kitty City.
I remember Kitty City.
You remember that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kitty City, I went in there and they had,
as a kid.
they had the Star Wars toys out, and I got that first lightsaber.
Really?
And after the first movie came out, I don't know if you guys remember it. You can still get them sometimes on eBay.
I may have seen a picture of it.
It was a black flashlight with some silver tape on it. It was actually made, I believe Kenner made it, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a plastic sheath. It was a plastic flashlight, and the sheath, it was like an inflatable pool float.
Okay.
The blade was actually like it was like you had to blow it up. You had to pull the little valve out, and like a pool float, it had seams on the side. Yeah, it was like an inflatable pool float, and it was just a.
Actually, that makes sense for beating it.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if you guys remember like soccer boppers when we were kids.
Yeah.
They were like
Soccer
little
boppers,
round balls that you'd put on, and you'd blow them up.
So the light actually lit it up a little bit?
The light lit up the blade. It was just a standard flashlight, but black plastic.
Like
and the blade was like a yellow. It actually looked like the photon yellow here that we have.
Yeah.
But when we're done, we'll look it up online just for fun, and I'll show you guys. It was the first lightsaber.
That I don't remember.
And what it did, you'd blow the blade up, and at the bottom of the blade, it had like a little 1-inch plastic skirt to it. And you would pull that skirt around the top of the lightsaber, or the flashlight, and then there was a yellow, like a collar or a coupler that would slip down and lock that blade in place. Yeah. And but I think
so interesting because that really is just like what we're doing.
It is basically what we're doing, but it was inflatable. It was like you had to. And the first time you whack something with it, the seam would pop, and then you had a limp, look like a limp saber.
I feel like
one
of those little grandkids. Grandpa, tell me a Star Wars story.
I got it! Me too! Zach, you passed the test! The Force is with you!
The Star Wars lightsaber, new from Kenner.
The inflatable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even way. He's fiddling with these inflatable things.
Inflatable lightsabers.
I just had the broomstick. I was happy with the stick. I would, unscrew, get rid of the broom part, and just paint that green.
Stick around.
And we would just swing that around until we got that Anakin MR. We just blasted that to pieces.
Yeah. Look it up, eBay, or do a Google search. Inflatable lightsaber. I think it was Kenner.
That's crazy.
Kenner Toy Company that made it. They had all the rights back then. And that was when the original first set of, 26 or 20-some little figures came out, little 3-inch figures. They're going for like a huge fortune today.
Really?
Yeah.
All my friends had those. I was into G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I would
Transformer
collect
and stuff like that.
Well, I'm actually a toy collector too. I got a bunch of stuff at home that I keep on my shelves. Not to get off topic here, but
do you have like a room for the toys? Or
I do actually. I have a room that's set up. Actually, we just rebuilt the house. We just rebuilt the house, so my basement isn't done, but that's going to be my man cave. Prior to the house being redone, I had it all on display. It's all put away right now, but we're going to put it back out.
You put in glass cases or something like that?
I have cases, glass shelving, similar to what you have here. But I mean, some of my toy collection, I still have my original $6 Million Man doll. I don't know if you even know who the $6 Million Man is.
I used to watch. Is that the same thing as like Bionic Woman?
He was the Bionic Man. Yeah,
right,
he was.
I used to watch Bionic Woman.
Yeah,
I was a couple.
Yeah,
years
he was
later,
her boyfriend.
Yeah.
He was her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I still have my original in the box. I still have it. My Evil Knievel that had the wind-up motorcycle.
Yeah, I remember that.
I still have that. I think that came out around 72 or 73.
I remember that.
I still have that. And then a couple companies put out some counter toys to try and like say, okay, let's make our own $6 Million Man. There was one guy's name was Pulsar. I have two of those.
I remember that.
You remember Pulsar? He was cool. He was about the size of a full-size G.I. Joe, and he had a clear chest, and his back was like a push button. And when you push his chest, you could see his internal organs, his lungs and his heart and his intestines had like red fluid, and his chest would pump. It would pump, and the red fluid would rotate
Pulsar.
through. Pulsar! Yeah, he was cool. I still have a Pulsar. I got the Pulsar in the box later from a toy shop, an antique toy shop. But I still have my original Pulsar, and I have one in the box original. So yeah, I have all my. I'm one of those.
Once that's all set up, I'd love to do like a show in front of that display or whatever.
Oh yeah, we'll do. We can do that. Yeah,
pretty
we can
awesome.
touch on that.
Like you said, you had Star Wars stuff, Star Wars like figures.
I actually don't have a lot of Star Wars figures. I have more. Back in the day, don't get mad at me, everybody. I was more of a Trekkie back in the day, and then as I grew up and got more mature, more adult-like, I started. I don't know. Star Wars just kind of spoke to me a lot more. I was always into both. You know what I mean? But I always kind of tended to go more as a Trekkie. But I'm going to say, when I hit my about 30s or so, I think the Star Wars really just spoke to me. Don't cut my head off. But yeah, so I'm both. I'm what would they call it? Bisexual, I guess, something like that. But it's all good. It's all good. So,
that's funny. That's awesome.
It's all good. Yeah, I still have a lot of my toys at home. I'm a big toy geek.
Yeah, I have my toys, but they're kind of like packed away. But my parents saved all of it, and then when I moved out, they said, come pick up all this stuff.
What was your favorite stuff when you were a kid?
G.I. Joe, Transformers.
Oh my God.
Even going younger was like He-Man, I guess, was when I was super
Yeah,
young.
that was me.
Oh, He-Man was,
me.
I loved He-Man. He was
That
cool.
was me, He-Man.
Little after my
Joe.
time as
I
a
like
kid.
Lego, too.
Transformers.
Legos, yeah. My bass player in my band, he's a huge Transformers geek fan, and like we are with Sabers, he's actually on a few websites like we are just for Transformer stuff. And if you ever get a chance to meet him, ask him to see his tattoos, because on one leg from his knee to his ankle is Optimus Prime.
Oh, wow.
And
Full
we're
color?
talking the Generation 1, the original, like from the cartoon and the original first Transformers. And on the other leg is Megatron. And on top and on the bottom, I forget what it says. He's got some Transformers language. I think it might say Optimus
More than
Prime.
meets the eye or some crap.
Yeah, something like that with the tattoo, yeah. But very cool stuff. He's and he probably has, I want to say he's probably got about 1,000, maybe more Transformer
Whoa.
figures. Yeah.
So he probably has the real metal ones.
He's got a bunch of stuff.
They always kept coming out with different ones. They eventually turned to plastic.
Actually cool what he does, if I can touch base on this. What he does, they call them kit bashing. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Are you
that.
talking about like they upgrade the Transformer?
They take a Transformer and they rip them apart. They rip like 3 or 4, and then they rebuild them.
This is crazy.
Yeah, he does that. My bass player does that.
They have like forums all about that. They have people that
It's called kit bashing.
Kit bashing?
Yeah, they'll take a Transformer and they'll gut it and rip it all apart, and then they'll get like 6 of them or 10 of them, and then they rebuild this into a new Transformer.
Yeah.
But it still transforms.
It's amazing.
It still does.
I've seen these websites.
So cool.
It's
Some of the
crazy.
stuff they do, and they sell them for big money.
It's like a custom Transformer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow,
So there's a niche for everybody out there. Like I said in the beginning, it's chocolate.
And for us, it's Photon!
Photon!
Not just Photon.
Wait. Are we almost done our episode? Is it time to light them up?
I think we're going to light them up, and we're going to get
out
of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Another episode of Saber Talk.
Force push, ready?
Nice.
That was a blaster. See if we can. That was a blaster. It's not easy to do. No. Try force push. Oh, you got it?
Song on this one.
The force is strong with this one. Not with this one.
Saber Talk signing off.
See you
Salute.
next episode.
So, what was it, about 50 days to the movie? Let's touch base on that.
I think so.
About 50 days till the movie.
Yeah, and I'll actually go Thursday night too. I mean, this is gonna be the first movie ever that I'll go to theater 3 times.
Awesome.
I never saw a movie 2 or 3 times, but
Awesome.
You better hope it's worth it, because if it sucks, you're gonna hate going twice.
I
2
know.
more times.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If I go Thursday night and it's not what I expect, I won't wake up for the 9 a.m. one. I'll just go to the 1:30 one the next day, and kind of skip the 9 a.m. But I want to see it a couple times to just ingrain whatever I'm seeing, so I can replay it over the months that it's not available on yet for Blu-ray or something. Just play whatever scene I want to play.
Keep it in your head.
Yeah.
Luke's back. I got a treat.
Thanks for doing that, you guys. It's awesome.
What treat?